3, 2, 1. It's sports time on Rocket Talk, talking all things sports from professional to college to high school. Here are your hosts, Tyler Johnson and Wesley Magagna.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Rocket Talks. We're talking NFL free agency. The NFL season wrapped up. Looks like there's going to be a lot of movement going on. A lot of quarterbacks talking. Tom Brady might be on the move. What are you looking for?
You know, I'm really excited about this offseason. It's going to be exciting to see what pieces go where. I guess, first off, we can start with Brady. My personal opinion, going back to the Super Bowl just for a second, that commercial he did, I'm going nowhere.
Yeah.
I personally believe, that sends a bunch of mixed signals, I think. First of all, my personal opinion, I believe that Tom Brady should stay in New England, but do I think he's going to? I don't think so, but I believe he should. But it's just tricky because,
it's better for his legacy if he stays.
It is better for his legacy if he stays. But right now, if you've noticed, what he's doing with his TB12 brand, he's been doing a lot more commercials, a lot more social media stuff than he has been these last few years, than he has been in the majority of his career.
He wants to separate himself from the Patriots quarterback to Tom Brady.
Exactly. He's always focused on winning Super Bowls, but now
he does go on to win a Super Bowl elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine his legacy then?
Oh, yeah.
Then people are going to go, well, it really was Brady. It wasn't Belichick.
That takes off that. Yeah, that breaks off the component of was it Brady or is it Belichick? So, but
$60 million for 2 years is on the table from the Patriots, and that's hard to pass up.
Yeah, it is. And, I think the Raiders that are going to strongly pursue Brady are willing to match that, or if not, go higher. But that's the thing. These teams have to remember, and we were talking about this yesterday, these teams and general managers have to remember that this is not the Brady from 10 years ago. Don't get me wrong. He's still good.
Yeah.
Well, fans of these teams that want Brady to come need to realize that too. He's still a good player, don't get me wrong, but he is not the Brady 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
But I think what people are really wanting Brady, he brings in the same attitude that he had 10 years ago, that work ethic. He's got the mind. There's nothing in the NFL that he hasn't seen.
Right.
And he's a hell of a leader. There's no doubt about that. The way he comes out of the tunnel, even when he's 43.
Yeah.
And he's,
Oh, exactly.
he's passionate. He wants to do it. And that rallies the team together. And I think with the Patriots this past season, I think it was more of the fact that they didn't have people around him that could get the job done. The Patriots have not done a good job at drafting. They drafted Sonny Michel over Nick Chubb. Right. They drafted this past offseason. They drafted N'Keal Harry over Dante Metcalf.
Oh, DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. Mm-hmm. Sorry. That dude is going to be the next Megatron.
Yeah, he's going to be.
So, they didn't really do him any favors.
No, but if you think about it, these last years, ever since I've been watching football, the best team, the best coach to get his players to perform at the highest level has always been the Patriots. So
true.
So there are teams that have a bunch of stars like the Chiefs. They got weapons pretty much everywhere, tight end, receiver, running back. But the Chiefs aren't going after Brady. It's the Raiders. It's the Titans. It's the LA Chargers, the Miami Dolphins, whatever. But you can go to that argument that, he didn't have many players around him, but who else is there better than getting those players to step up and to play to their potential? Because these since I've been watching football, it seems like, say, this guy goes away from the Bills and ends up on the Patriots. You wouldn't have ever even noticed him playing for the Bills, but now that he's Patriot, he's like, wow, he's almost a Pro Bowler now.
But you see Drew Brees, who's about the same age. They got arguably, one of the top 3 wide receiver, Michael Thomas.
Oh yeah.
They've got Alvin Kamara. Mm-hmm. He's a top tier running back, top 3.
Oh yeah.
They put weapons around Drew Brees.
Right.
And he doesn't have the same arm that he used to 10 years ago.
No, he doesn't.
But
I believe he's a lot more accurate than Tom Brady, though.
Oh, for sure. But they put weapons around him to help him succeed.
Right.
That's why Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill can slide right in and go 5-0.
Right.
When Drew Brees isn't there.
Okay.
It's just I think the Patriots haven't done, as Tom Brady has gotten older, a good job of giving him the talent to work with.
Right. So if Tom Brady were to leave, what's your best fit for him, do you think?
Raiders.
The Raiders?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They got. Well, I mean, I really don't know. They got they got a tight end. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
The running back?
And the running back
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. What's the name of the tight end though?
Oh,
Someone with an M? No. Waller.
Oh yeah,
Darren Waller.
Darren Waller.
Mm-hmm. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady has always been good with tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden, he loves working with
Quarterbacks.
not just quarterbacks, old quarterbacks.
Yeah.
People that know the game.
Right.
And, I think that's the biggest issue with him and Derek Carr is he's not able to talk to him about football at the same level. Like John Gruden's intellect for football, NFL football, is up here.
Right.
Derek Carr, no disrespect, isn't at that same level.
Right.
So I think just being able that quarterback room with those two would be intriguing to him.
Yeah, and I mean the Raiders' defense. I mean it's not great by any means, but it's also not bad either. It's not poor. So, I think the Raiders would be a fit. Can you see Tom Brady going to Las Vegas? I don't know, but that's the thing. Like I also kind of thought the Titans would be a great fit too, but I have a really hard time seeing Tom Brady growing his TB12 brand in Nashville. So I think that'd be very difficult. So if he does go somewhere,
a cool city though.
It is, but if he does go somewhere, I think he's going to go somewhere where the market is bigger and that he can grow his brand. But I actually like the fit in Tennessee because, like you said, Tom Brady, in his 40s, he's getting older. When you have a back like Derrick Henry, that makes your job a hell of a lot easier. The Titans' defense is good enough to contend for a Super Bowl, in my opinion. Maybe just a couple steps away, one or two pieces.
And then
their receivers are coming. A.J. Brown, that rookie this year,
another person that the Patriots did not draft.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he put on a show this year. Corey Davis is getting better. They've got the receivers. Plus, Mike Vrabel, used to play with Tom Brady.
Former teammates. So they have that repertoire.
Yeah, they have that. And so I honestly think Tennessee is a great fit. I think Mariota definitely is on the way out. Yeah, you can say Tannehill had a good year this year, made the Pro Bowl, comeback player of the year. But
what did he come back from?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If anybody, the comeback player of the year this year should have been probably Garoppolo, because he tore his ACL last year. And he went on to go to the Super Bowl this year. But I understand why Tannehill was in the run for that. But I don't know. I believe Nashville is good, Tennessee, but I just really the relationship that that Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick have with Brady, but you also have to think about Tom Brady's partner Alex Guerrero, his trainer, his partner. Plus Gisele's going to have a huge part in the deal too. Like, this is the first time Tom Brady in his entire career has been an NFL free agent, so it's not just up to him. It's going to be Gisele's going to have a part in it too. So
absolutely.
I don't know.
She's the king of the castle, queen of the castle.
Exactly. So, and you know what? There's also been the talks about Brady going to San Francisco, and because his idol growing up was Joe Montana, and he was always a huge 49ers fan.
Yeah, I'm not buying that though.
Me neither. I'm not.
I have a hard time thinking the 49ers would trade
from
away a promising young quarterback in Garoppolo for a guy that's definitely only going to be around for 2 or 3 years.
Exactly. And I honestly believe that for every athlete, maybe not all of them, but for most of them, that sticking out with playing your entire career with one team is a huge deal, I think. I think it's very important to a lot of these guys. I mean, you go into a locker room day one, your rookie year, and you fall in love with the culture, the custom, everything. You want to be there for the rest of your career. So I think that's going to play a huge part too, because Brady doesn't have much longer left in this league. Why go away? Why get off the path now for another 2 or 3 years when what you've already done in New England is you're already considered the GOAT. So
And there's a lot of uncertainty that if he were to go somewhere and fail,
exactly,
then he goes, oh, well,
all
maybe it was
Belichick.
Belichick.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
So I
Yeah.
think Tom Brady despite everything out there, what people are saying, SportsCenter, all these NFL analysts, you're right, they know what they're talking about, but I personally believe I think Tom is just trying to get a bunch of attention right now, which is why he did the Super Bowl commercial, which is why he leaked that Twitter photo before the Super Bowl, which at the time we didn't know that post was for his commercial. We kind of thought it was about, oh, wow, he's leaving the Patriots. But no, he did it for attention, and he's definitely got that attention. So, in my opinion, Tom, if you're listening, stay with the Patriots. Finish out your career with them. You're already considered the GOAT. Just now all that's left is the Hall of Fame and retirement. Yeah. So,
and then there's a lot of other, questions about other quarterbacks around the league.
Right.
Is Drew Brees going to return? Is Phillip Rivers? Phillip Rivers is not coming back to the Chargers, so
no.
A lot of questions is that he's going to Indianapolis, which would be a good fit. Or does Jameis Winston come back with the Bucks?
I think Winston, despite if you
the real life 30 for 30.
Real life 30 for 30, yeah. If you take away those interceptions, I'm speaking from a fantasy point here because we're both big fantasy football players here. Jameis Winston would have been the number one quarterback this year in points wise without those interceptions. Like he led the league in touchdowns this year. He led the league in passing yards. Did passing yards too, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he did.
Probably.
But yeah, take away those interceptions, like he would have definitely been by far the best quarterback this year. So, and that's coachable. You can coach him to. Bruce Arians is a hell of a coach. He's another quarterback's coach. I think that before Tampa Bay makes any drastic moves, I think they should hold on to Winston because, like I said, you just take away a few of those interceptions, he would have been the number one quarterback this year.
Plus, not comparing him to Peyton Manning by any means, but Peyton Manning threw more interceptions than Jameis Winston in his first, 3-4 seasons or whatever, however long he's been in the league.
Exactly. And I know it wasn't just this year. I mean, Winston throughout pretty much his entire career, you've had that red flag on him about the interceptions. But I think
he likes to sling it.
He does.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, and I mean, he's won a national championship in college, but I know it's a whole nother level at the NFL, but still, I think he's got the leadership. I think he's got the guys in the locker room to trust him. I think he even has Bruce Arians' trust, honestly. And
I wouldn't go that far.
You can't just throw in a quarterback every year and be like, oh yeah, he's going to get it done. He's going to get it done. But I think just give him 1 or 2 more years. If you still can't coach the interceptions out of him, then sure, go ahead and move on, and he'll continue his career probably as a backup. But he is still definitely good enough to be a starter in this league.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I don't even know where he would go, honestly. I don't think if he did leave Tampa Bay, I don't think he would be a starter anywhere else, honestly. Kind of like
Chargers are looking for another starter.
Yeah,
I think personally,
I think the Chargers are going to go through the draft though.
So he's been in Florida his whole life.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much. I don't know where he's from, but for the last, college and then pros.
Right.
And he had, some stuff behind, off the field issues in college and then a little bit in the pros.
Yeah.
I think he needs to get at Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Leave the friends, the hometown friends behind.
Right.
Go somewhere else. If I think it's no question Derek Carr is not as good or talented wise as Jameis Winston.
No.
So if the Raiders don't get Tom Brady, maybe they shift their focus to Jameis Winston, and then quarterback guru John Gruden can do some stuff. And then, or the Chargers, Phillip Rivers isn't coming back. I think Teddy Bridgewater would be a better fit there.
Right.
But
and I think that's going to be a key piece too. Like
Or the Broncos. Shoot, they need
Yeah.
a quarterback.
Yeah, and I think the Broncos have found their guy though, Drew Lock. I mean, he did some good things towards the end of this year. We still haven't had a big enough sample to see.
He's got to continue to rise.
He does. Like I said, we still haven't quite had a big enough sample size from
Killed
Locker
my
just
Texans.
yet. Yeah, but he did show some promising things, and I think let's just see how Drew does this year, and then I guess we can always go back to that. But as for right now, I think Broncos. I don't think a quarterback right now is their biggest issue by any means. But speaking of, I do agree with you on that. I think it would be good for Winston to get out of Florida just because, he's comfortable there. Plus, a lot of athletes, quarterbacks, they stick with one team for too long. And, it just kind of, their stats and their performance just kind of slowly goes downhill. But as soon as they get traded or leave and they're in another city and across the country or whatever, boom, that's exactly what they needed.
Yeah.
Everything starts.
A change of scenario.
A change of scenery, yeah. So I like that. I like that. Call
Do the
from
Lions want to stay with Matthew Stafford? Stuff like questions are. Are the Green Bay Packers going to be drafting a quarterback? Because Aaron Rodgers is older than Brett Favre was when they drafted Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So are they starting to be like, maybe we should start finding our next guy?
Yeah, that'll be
That's
interesting.
interesting.
That's a good question too, because honestly, just
Talented.
watching Aaron this year, you could see he's kind of.
And it's a talented quarterback class. You got Joe Burrow. You got
Justin Herbert,
Tua
Tagovailoa.
Yeah,
Yep.
him.
But I think those guys are going to be gone early in the first round, though. So if the Packers did want someone like that, maybe Jordan Love out of Utah State, maybe he could be there by the time the Packers pick. But I honestly think that the Chargers and the Colts too. They're going to both those franchises are going to go after quarterbacks in the draft early. I see the Chargers or the Colts getting Justin Herbert around 6'10", somewhere in there, possibly even trading up. But Tua, I see him going top 5. Joe Burrow, I guarantee he's a lock number 1 going to my Bengals.
I wouldn't think so.
I
wouldn't think
I
so.
don't think they. I can't. I don't think they can afford him, man. You can't.
Well, here's what if? Because they need more. They need more than a quarterback. Joe Burrow's not going to come in and change the whole thing.
We're not going to win the Super Bowl.
So
next year.
what if with the number 1 pick they draft Ohio State, Chase Young, and then not trade the number 1 pick, but later on, I think they have more than 1 first round pick, right?
The Bengals, no, I think
No?
they just have 1.
Okay, so maybe what if they trade back up, or at the end if Tua drops because he's got some injury, and then they draft him or Justin Herbert. I mean, I think
Herbert's
some
going to go top 6, top 10.
I think some quarterbacks can drop. I don't think
Right.
there's not a lot there's not a.
See if there
It's a good quarterback draft.
Right.
It's not a great quarterback.
No,
draft.
it's definitely not the best quarterback class by any means.
I think next year's
it is a talent.
it's going to be better when Trevor Lawrence comes off.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, plus we also got Jake Fromm this year. He's another good one. I think that's going to do good at the next level from Georgia. That is the one player. If the Bengals do not get Joe Burrow, that is the one player I hope they do get is Chase Young, because we need another defensive end.
Plus, saw what one guy can change a defense with the Niners this year. A
Exactly,
rookie,
exactly. But if you think about it, if you look back though, and it's true, Chase Young, he tore up college football the first half of this year. Easily he tore it up. But after he had that suspension and then he came back, he really didn't do a whole lot. Really,
did he care though?
That could be a thing, but that's one thing that scouts and people look at. Joe Burrow literally carried, and I know he had that.
He had some great players, around him.
He did have great players, but also that new coach from the Saints this year. What's his name?
I don't know.
That just went to Carolina.
Brady. Brady.
Yeah, Joe Brady. So, and I know that helped a lot, but what Joe Burrow did. I mean, at this time last year, I think NFL, Todd McShay and all those guys had him as a 5th-round draft pick, Joe Burrow.
No doubt. He definitely rose in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely helped his draft stock this year. But
what he did this year, he literally carried the team. like you said, yeah, he did have
It's
a lot
easy
of talent around
it's
him.
easy to throw to a wide open wide receiver.
It is.
Though.
It is, and you can also thank Joe Brady for that. Like he
Yeah.
was a genius this year. Like
Not hating on LSU, although
No.
they're not my favorite.
not mine either by any means, but no, exactly like your point. Joe Burrow's not going to come in as a rookie and lead the Bengals to the playoffs or lead the Bengals to a Super Bowl. I get that, but he is from Ohio.
Right.
But
what if-
and raised.
But what if they they shore up their defense a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
They solidified that. AJ Green comes back healthy.
Right.
Andy Dalton, he's
not bad. No.
once upon a time he was a top 10 quarterback,
Oh yeah.
and I still think he can be that.
Yeah, I think he wants out of Cincinnati, though. And that's what I think.
Where does he go? I want him to go to the Bears.
Yeah, that'd be a much better pick than Trubisky, I think, in my opinion. But I just think a change of scenery would be good. And I even think the Cincinnati fan base, like, we love Andy Dalton, but I even think that the fan
Red
base is
Rocket.
ready to move on from Andy.
Probably.
And like you said, Andy is a great quarterback. He is definitely not
Well,
done.
not great. He's good.
He's good. He is not a backup in this league. He is good enough to be a starter. I just don't think. I think his time with the Bengals is over, and hence Joe Burrow.
I think he could go to some options for Dalton is Chicago,
Chicago is good, I think.
the Broncos. Locke showed us some stuff, but I don't think they're 100% in on him.
No, the sample size is still too small.
And Cam Newton we don't know if he's coming back or not. So
yeah, well, I believe he'll be back just with the Panthers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Even their backup this year, Kyle Allen, he didn't really show. I mean, he showed some okay
he's a good
stuff.
game manager, but
Yeah, I think his
nothing special.
Yeah, he to me isn't good enough to lead a team to, the playoffs to the postseason either. I think Kyle Allen is just a backup in my opinion. But so yeah, that'll be interesting to see too. Plus, I don't know, with the hiring, with a new coach, a new offensive coordinator, maybe Cam is willing to come back.
It'll be tough, man.
It is. It will be. Same with
Kuechly-
Mariota. Where's
Kuechly-
Mariota going to go? With Tannehill now.
Dude, I don't know.
Is Mariota? I think Mariota's still good enough to be a starter in this league somewhere. Maybe him in Chicago. I don't.
I was never a fan of Mary. I liked him in college.
Right, me
I
too.
liked him in the college game. Mm-hmm. He just never impressed me, and he had a great first game, and that's it.
Yeah.
But
I think he started out well with the Titans, but I think it's just hard for athletes because on draft day you don't know where you're going, you don't know what system you're going into, and when you get there, if the system isn't right for you, like that doesn't mean you're a bad player. It's just it's not the right fit, and I just don't think Tennessee is the right fit for Mariota because I do believe he's got the
Definitely
talent.
they were under 500
Exactly.
with him, and then
Look at Tannehill.
came in and
Exactly.
brought him to the AFC
And Tannehill in
Championship.
Miami, oh my God, I wouldn't even watch the Miami Dolphins when Tannehill was quarterback. Like he was just awful. And then boom, new team, new system, new coach. Look what he did.
Yeah.
I think Mariota can do that
Makes
as
me wonder
well.
why he was come back, but
Right? Matt Nagy in Chicago with Mariota, I think could do a lot more with Mitch Trubisky. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Chicago.
true.
But
Mitchell-
Chicago fans, in my opinion, still cannot sleep. Like, going back to that draft, you pick Trubisky over Watson and Mahomes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, my God. If I was a Bears fan, I wouldn't sleep right now either.
yeah,
Or ever.
it's a tough life.
It is.
So, needless to say, there's a lot of question marks. Like, it's going to be a new season next year, so
Yeah.
it'll be
Very exciting offseason. And it'll also depend on what happens in the draft, too. Because, there could be trades in the draft. There could be teams that move up and move down. It all will also depend on the combine and the draft. So,
it'll be interesting.
very interesting. One of the most exciting off seasons in quite some time, I think.
Too bad Bill O'Brien will still be the coach of the Texans.
And the general manager.
And I won't watch. That's another edition of Rocket Talks, everybody. Follow me on Twitter. I am Tyler Johnson.
At Wesley Magagna.
Y'all take care. Stay classy. Cut. All right.
All right, so now NBA trade.
NBA.
So this morning, you were probably here at work by the time, but the trade is official now between Miami and Memphis.
Yeah, for
Iguodala.
Andre Iguodala.
So James Crowder and someone else is going to Miami, and then Memphis is getting Dion Waiters, Justice Winslow, and someone else.
Justice Winslow.
Yeah. I liked Winslow, man.
Me too. Houston guy.
I'm not going to know as much about this as football, but so this will be a shorter episode. But
No problem.
So you lead it. I'll just follow you.
We'll talk about,
Zion maybe or
well, like with the
because there's really not many trades though this right now.
not happened yet, but
No.
we gotta act like we're talking just in general, like the trade
general,
deadline,
trade
'cause-
deadline, yeah.
so people can watch whenever.
Right.
It's dumb, but
We can even
whatever.
break off a little bit and talk about
Alrighty. Action. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Rocket Talks. Today we're going to be talking about the NBA and the trade deadline and what that means. I mean, there's a lot of movement, a lot of contenders. Andre Iguodala's leaving Memphis, going to Miami. Clint Capella's shipped off to Atlanta from Houston. And Robert Covington, if you don't know who that is, a nice 3-and-D player, is headed to Houston. They're going small ball in Houston. So what do you so far? I mean, we still got a couple more hours left of the deadline.
Right.
What do you think the biggest impact is so far?
The biggest one I think is definitely Iguodala. I think every contender this year should have been going after him, in my opinion.
I think everyone was. Houston was.
Yeah.
LA was. Both of them.
Yeah, I mean, what he brings to the table is second to none. He's got the experience. He's got the leadership. I think he can definitely come into a locker room and help out, young guys. Be the veteran voice in the locker room and on the floor.
Yeah.
So going to Miami, I'm not the biggest NBA fan, but I do like Miami a lot. I think that's a great move.
They're a sleeper team.
They are a sleeper team. But what they've been doing...
They can make some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, they can. I believe as of right this second, I'm not saying in a month from now or in a week from now or whatever, but right this minute, with the Iguodala trade, I think Miami gives Milwaukee the best run for the East right now.
Oh, probably.
Over Philadelphia even.
Probably.
Because Philadelphia right now has been... They have no identity on offense. Even Joel Embiid said that too. So, and it's true. Like they just got blown out by Miami. By 20 points the other night.
Yeah,
and
something like that.
Miami is definitely a good home team. I think they've only lost one or two on the road or at home this year, but they're also a good team as well. So, Philadelphia they need some key pieces too. But yeah, as for the biggest fish, where he landed is definitely right now Iguodala, and this has been one of the most quiet deadlines we've seen in quite some time too.
Yeah, so far. I mean,
So far.
Well, that's because we had such a big movement off season.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of the big threes are gone. The big twos are the dynamic duos are in place.
Yeah.
I'm a Houston guy,
Oh, yeah.
so I personally loved the Clint Capella trade, bringing in the Robert Covington and doing small ball. I think there's another move in there that Daryl Morey's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
But, Mike D'Antoni, he's not under contract for after this season. So this will be his last season, depending on how they do. Daryl Morey had that thing in China, so he's on the hot seat. I hope he's not on the hot seat. He is the heart and soul of that team. He's the X factor. He's the best GM in the league, and if we let him go, we're dumb.
Yeah.
But that's the Houston way these days. So I think they're putting all their chips into what D'Antoni does best, and that was when he was in Phoenix with the 7 seconds or less offense.
Mm-hmm.
They had Amari, they had Sean Marion, they had Quentin Richardson, they had Joe Johnson, they had Steve Nash, and they were just running and gunning.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of space and a lot of a lot of not ball movement, but just a lot of space for players to create, and I think that'll help James Harden, but more specifically, I think that'll help Russell Westbrook because he kind of becomes the de facto center, the post player for the Rockets. He's able to, because he's not a great three-point shooter, so he's able to play more in the post, get into the paint, kick it out to all those shooters that we have.
Yeah, that's definitely more his game. So
I think we're not going to be great on defense, but the best D'Antoni teams in the past haven't been. So,
Right. So what do you think, in order to save his job, if he is on the hot seat, how far will he have to take the Rockets for him to come back next year?
to the finals.
To the finals, at least.
He's got to go to the finals.
Right. I mean, a few years ago when they went to the final,
Yeah.
oh man, or went to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, they're one game away.
Game 7. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
but if not, they definitely have to get to the Western Conference Finals and beat one of the LA teams
yeah.
because they're favorites to win it.
Oh yeah.
So they're favorites to get to the Western Conference Finals. So if they're able to beat one of those teams and then lose to one of those teams in the West, I can see them bringing him back, but I can't at the same time. They've got to go to the finals. Like,
Oh yeah, they do.
Tillman Fertitta wants a championship. He doesn't want to pay for one because he refuses to go over the luxury tax. But, he definitely wants one. And, there's a lot of question marks, I'm not going to lie, around the league. I mean, it's interesting that the Lakers haven't made a move because they definitely need one more move to get over the hump. I think they're not completely there yet. They're good, but not that good. I mean, no, I shouldn't say that. They're really good. They play tonight, by the way, Rockets and Lakers.
Nice.
At Thursday at 8:30. But the Clippers, they also need another wing player, I think, maybe another post. A lot of the championship teams still need that one more piece.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and it's tough. So if you had to say right now, I know we still got a couple hours left on the deadline, but if you had to pick the finals right now, who would you put in the finals?
okay, I got two scenarios. As a homer, I got Houston and the Bucks.
Okay.
But if I'm looking realistically, probably the Lakers and the Bucks.
Lakers, Bucks.
Yeah.
See,
although Toronto and Miami can upset the Bucks.
Yeah, Toronto's definitely not one to sleep on. Shoot, I think after last night was their 12th straight win. That's
Really?
yeah, 12th straight win. Even with Kawhi last year, they never had a streak that long. So
I don't think Kawhi ever played 12 straight
yeah,
years.
honestly, yeah. So
Shot taken.
but the West has always been, in my opinion, the West has always been more competitive, which is true. But right now, the East is on the rise. You got Milwaukee, you got Miami, you got Toronto. And honestly, if you think about it, last year, what Toronto did over Golden State in the finals, I think that helps the East. Even though, yeah, I know KD was hurt, Klay Thompson was hurt. It wasn't the actual Golden State Warriors that Toronto was playing. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, it's still a championship. It was 5-on-5. It's whatever. But my opinion, yeah, same thing. I have the Lakers going this year, especially after the tragic Kobe accident. I mean, what other better way to honor Kobe as a Laker than to go to the finals and win it this year? I think that I even think that puts LeBron even more on a mission than he already was on to get to the finals. But yeah, I can honestly see it too. Western Conference, Houston. Right now, what's Houston, fourth in the West?
They're fifth right now, but they they can easily shoot up to right behind the Jazz.
Or Nuggets, right?
And the Jazz, it goes Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, Jazz, Rockets.
Okay.
So they can easily, this small ball works. They can
Right.
easily get up there and make it to the fourth seed or the third seed.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it if they played the Jazz in the playoffs. I might have to
Yeah,
mosey on down to go watch a game.
Right, and Utah. I mean, they've been to the postseason these last few years, and I mean, they're still a couple key pieces away from contending too, I think. But they are still a good team, especially they're a good home team. They always do very well at home and at the Vivint Smart Home Arena. So, yeah. But for trades, my opinion, Iguodala, you couldn't have done wrong with him. Why did he sit out Memphis though?
He wanted to play for a contender, but Memphis. I mean, they're not a contender, but they're surprising. They're in the 8th seed right now in the West.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. He just
Didn't.
he's he's in his 30s. He's won, I think.
He's already won 3 NBA titles.
He's
so.
I think he got a little spoiled with being on the Warriors and winning all the time.
Right.
And I don't think he wanted to be a part of the rebuilding process.
Right.
So that's why he held out. And
Makes sense.
now he's in South Beach playing for a title contender. So can't say he made the wrong choice.
No, I think him and Butler are gonna work well together. And what else was part of that trade? James Crowder, Dion Waiters, and Justice Winslow are now going to Memphis, which
Houston
hurts me
product.
a little bit.
Winslow.
I liked Winslow, so yeah. But no, the Bucks have got to go this year too. I think with Giannis, what he's been doing these last few years, MVP last year. There's only one more thing for him to do, in my opinion. I honestly believe has already solidified himself as. It's hard to say because I'm a huge LeBron fan, but as of right now, I think Giannis is a better player right now than LeBron James in the NBA.
Yeah, he's definitely the modern version of Shaq.
Right.
Most dominant.
I think the next thing for him is going to the finals and possibly winning it. The Bucks, take away Giannis, the Bucks are still a good team. Are they good enough to compete with the West, though, with the Lakers? You got AD with these dynamic duos in the West. I believe that they can beat the Clippers, yes. I don't know, though, because when Kawhi gets going...
Dude, I think they could beat the Lakers, too.
I think they could, too. The Lakers, but like I said, I'm a big LeBron fan. So
Giannis on AD, and then... you're not going to stop LeBron, but if you can stop people around LeBron...
Right.
That's what the Warriors did, and that's how they beat him.
Yeah.
Don't let the other players beat you. Just let LeBron beat you.
Yeah. So, all right.
It'll be interesting. But for now, we have to wait and see. And that's another edition of Rocket Talks. Follow me on Twitter. I am Tyler Johnson.
At Wesley Magagna.
And we'll see you next time.
Good night,
Take it
Canada.
easy.